time, I just want to do a quick recap before we get started. So last time we were building some amazing, we were using ADK to building an amazing agent for planning a trip. Remember that we want to plan a trip to San Francisco. We have a single day trip, we have a multi-day trip, and also we are planning what restaurant should we go. We have foodie restaurant, right? So if you like missing the last times, like if you missed the last session, don't worry about it. We'll do a quick recap today, and you also can check the tutorial I sent on the link. So just do a quick recap of ADK agent. We have this agent that is the control, like base agent. That's a control center for your AI agent. We have system prompt that define the role for the agent. We have the session ID that's controlling the memory. Like last time, we also have a tutorial about the memory for agent. Again, if you're interested, you can check out the link I put in the chat. I also covered the memory thing here. So yeah, we have agent, we have the brain, have the memory, and then we're using this model that's a brain. And also we have this tool, the built-in tool as a Google search tool. We wrap everything in the agent and we power up with runner. So runner is like the engine to power up the agent. It takes the base agent and any potential sub-agent, you connect them to the right service and get the conversation going. So that's what makes everything together. And that is our topic, like agent develop kit we're talking about today. And just to have a quick recap, why we want to using ADK, why we're not using a different like a lane graph or lane chain, why you should be excited about ADK. So first of all, it's very easy to use. You can think of ADK like React or Flex, that once you start to learn, you can produce really fast. And it's modular and flexible. You can use pre-built agent or define your own logic. You can build your own tool, or there's some built-in tool. It's very fast local testing. As someone like Alan maybe mentioned it in the chat earlier, that we have, you're playing around with ADK Web. So we have this local dev UI. You can run your agent locally. You can watch every thoughts, every tool call in the events in real time. You can debug with full transparency. And also it's supporting multimodal agent. It handles image, document, and structured data. So lastly, it's deployment ready. You can take it to production very fast. ADK is built to deploy directly to what has AI agent builder, and we're gonna cover it in the future sessions. So our agentic stack start from agent develop kit, which we'll talk a lot about yesterday, last session, and also I'm gonna talk more today. We also have model context protocol, which is like we're gonna explore. We have lab today. You're gonna have so much fun with MCP today. And also what has AI agent engine to manage deployment, scaling. And lastly, we have A2A to manage communication, collaboration between different AI agents. So my name is Annie. I hope to, so last time I already introduced myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie Wang. I'm currently develop advocate at Google Cloud. I'm really passionate about helping developer like learning AI. And also have my colleague Ivan, like he's not here today, but he's gonna join our next session. We have our amazing TA today, Olivia, who is gonna supporting us, answering questions with AI agent. He's really knowledgeable. So yeah, thanks, Olivia. Maybe you can say hi to everyone in the chat so people know you. Yay, Olivia, great. And yeah, so this is our journey together. Again, 2 weeks ago, we have foundation with ADK. It's enable you to, like, we learn all the foundation things. And today, we are gonna focusing on tool integration and evaluation. We're gonna talk about all the different tools with ADK and evaluation for ADK. So here is a quick agenda for today. We start from the concept of tooling, and then the path of different tool integration, including MCP. Like I know MCP is a hot topic. A lot of people ask questions about MCP. So yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna cover that. And we also have evaluation with ADK agent. That's a pretty like cool area, because ADK, it has some building metrics. We actually gonna have a lab so that you're able to try a unit test and integration test with agent. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you're gonna enjoy that. We have hands-on lab for every single step instead of, so last time we have all the theory at the beginning and then the hands-on lab. So this time we have like theory for every theory, we have lab right after it, so that you're gonna enhance your knowledge once you learn the concept. All right, enough talking. Again, this is a link to set up your API key. It's Google/Agentic Lab 0. You can scan the QR code or type this. And if you open this link, you're gonna see this Gemini API key setup, and just making sure you follow the instruction over there. If you have trouble following, later on, I will also guide you step by step. And I think our TA and Aziza also gonna help us set it up. Oh, so the credit preparing for the event. I'm so sorry. Can you click the first link? I have this optional link. I haven't turned it on yet. So for Alan and Antonia, if you have trouble opening the link, can you open the first link? If you still have trouble opening the link, just let me know, okay? Thank you. And yeah, so for our agent, like we have system prompt, have the model, we have the tooling, we put them together, we power it with runner. And today's, we're gonna focusing on the tooling, because last time, all the example we're using Google search tool. So Google search is a built-in tool, but ADK is supporting all different type of tool. So today, we're gonna explain exactly how ADK work with tooling, and also we're gonna play around all different way of using this tool. And not only that, we're gonna try MCP, and not only that, we're gonna try how to evaluate those tools. You can evaluate whether the tool is calling at the right time and whether the right tool is being used. So by the end of today's session, you're gonna learn all the different way of agent using tool, and also like ADK's way of evaluate agent. And yeah, hope you enjoy today's session, and let's get started. Let me quickly check the chat to see if, oh, okay. I'm checking the chat to see if anyone having trouble using the credit. Just quickly going back to this link. So this optional link, right now I haven't opened, I'm so sorry. Can you just click this building account link? I think this one should work. Yeah, so if you click the optional link, I haven't opened it yet, so you may have some issue. Just let me know, okay? Thank you. And let me get started with the tooling. So how agents using their tools? Let's get started with this first initial query. For example, you talk to an agent and ask it, how do I find the best ramen store near me? So this is the initial request. And once the agent receives the request, it will get ready to figure out how to handle it. So you can have initial request, like, can you find the best ramen near me? Because I love ramen. Not sure what food you like, but I like ramen. And then LLM, so agent now calls LLM. It's not directly answer this request. Instead, LLM decide, okay, let's do the reasoning about, okay, which tool should I use to fulfill the request? So maybe LLM do the reasoning and think, maybe I should do a Google search to find what are the nearby ramen place. So it will do the Google search, it's gonna do the reasoning to select the tool that's best make the decision for a user. And then once it decide I'm gonna use Google search as a tool, it will construct a function call. So it looks something like, oh, I'm using Google search and the query is best ramen near Sunnyvale. So now we have this function call. It actually gonna execute the call. Like in this case, it can be an API call, or it can be other way to get real world data back. But do remember, if you're doing the API call or you want to get the real world data, that's usually a structured data. But how usually agent talk to with natural language, right? So therefore, like we want agent to process the result. We want to use LM to interpret and summarize to make the structured data to be something like, oh, this drum and place is a cozy spot. Maybe you can check it out. So in this stage, agent is processing the result, translate that structured output to human language, and then return back to the user. So this is how, under the hood, how agents using the tool. And we also usually we have the reasoning loop, so that sometimes one turn, like LLM gonna choose different tool to solve a problem. So we usually have like the yellow part, we can do it multiple times until agent gonna find the accurate result back to the user. So that is the theory of how agents use their tools. Let's get started to see all the different tools like ADK give you agent success. You know, I was checking this ADK doc recently. I was so surprised that, oh, now we're supporting so many different tools. So let's get started by first, we have function tool. You own your customer, it's like your custom Python code. It's the most flexible way. Basically, you can connect to your private data or internal API or custom logic. And then secondly, we have building tool. So this is what we've been using last time. Like a popular building tool is like Google search. We also have what has AI search that is great for RAG, like retrieval augmented generation, if you're familiar with RAG. And next, we have third-party tool. So if you're familiar like with LangChain or Crew AI and other framework, you can also use those tools with third-party tool. So that means if you have some tools with LangChain, you can wrap it with LangChain tool. So now ADK can also use LangChain tool. And today you're gonna have lab on that to see how powerful it is for the integration. Of course, we have Google Cloud tool. You can talk to GCP service. You can easily connect your agent to database, API, and enterprise tool. We have OpenAPI tool that turns any REST API into a tool. We have MCP tool. I feel like I'm talking a lot of tools today. We have MCP tool. You know, MCP is a lot of people are very interested. Like it's a universal connector, right? You can call the external tool hosted on the. You can call external tool hosted on MCP server. You can also explore your own agent tool. You can build your own agent MCP server through ADK and then connect to it. Yeah, we're gonna explore everything today. And let me pause really quick to see if I have any question. Is it possible to use Node.js function for tool? I think right now it's mostly not, but yeah, I think I haven't explored different way of China. How does ADK compare to LangGraph? So ADK has extra layer of control. ADK also, it has some Webflow. It has some Webflow agent to support multi-agent, which we're gonna deep dive next session. And ADK also have session state to communicate through different agent and agent with tool, which we're gonna explore today. So you're gonna understand how agent communicate to each other, how agent tool communicate to each other through context, through the session. So that's how, so that if you're using ADK, that you have a lot of features that that's built in for you. All right, so let's get started with the path of tool integration. We talk about all the different way of tools. Now it's time to, get hands-on to actually try it, to see exactly how we integrate them. And you're gonna actually, see the code, play around it, and actually integrate with ADK with all different tools today. I hope you get excited as I am. And okay, started with building tool. So this building tool, you simply just import Google search as a building tool and you use it in the tool. This is exactly similar to what we do last time with the trip planner. And this is our first lab. So I wanna mention that for today's collab, we are having, in total, we're having 2 collab. One collab is for all different tool integration, and one collab is for evaluation. So I'm gonna have different lab that point to the different section of the tooling, but you can just open the 2 collab. It's easier, but if you join in the middle, and then if you missed it, you can check. Just go to this link, so you can go to the specific part of that collab. All right. So if you can see the link over here. We have Google/ADK21. So if you click the link, you're gonna open this ADK Toolkit one. And before that, I'm gonna guide you through how to generate the API key so that we can use it to run this collab. For everyone who is not able to generate the API key, or you're just joining in the middle, like this is the link for you to claim your free credit. So you click this link, not optional link. I'm sorry that I haven't opened the optional link, but you click the billing account, please, and then it will open something like this. And you're clicking access, and then here. Oh, can you please share the GitHub link? I haven't uploaded to the GitHub. I just put them to the collab. If you want, I can do them later. So, all right. So if you claim the credit, it looks something like this. So, like credit successfully applied. The most important thing is you need to making sure you create a project and link this billing account to your project. So, okay, maybe I do it really fast. I'm going to do it again. Some people mentioned that I do it too fast with creating the project. So if you click select the project, in this tab, on the top right, you have new project button. And you're clicking this new project, and you're creating a new project. It can be the any name you want, and the location can be no organization. And then you're creating this new project. It's called AI Cam. You can be whatever name you want. And you go to this project over here. So you will see this this page. And on the left-hand panel, there's the billing. You click the billing. You're going to see this, oh, this project has no billing account, so you want to link this to the billing account. So I'm clicking this, and this is a billing account. I'm selecting this to connect to them. I'm going to quickly check the chat to see if anyone has questions. Okay. Now I'm successfully connected to it. So I'm opening this project, and then I can see that on the billing side, it says it's connecting to this billing, and I check the credit. I have this credit that linked, free credit that linked to my project. So now I have successfully creating this project called AI Cam and linked to the free billing account. So what next is I'm going to AI Studio, Google AI Studio, and I'm clicking Get API Key. So I'm creating this new API key over here. I'm searching the project. So I'm gonna creating API key in this project. Yeah, so I'm gonna copy this. And I will go to my very first lab. So this lab link, again, it is Google/ADK21. So you're gonna go to this lab. And so this lab, you're gonna go through all different way of ADK connecting to the tools. And we're gonna start from building tool, and then customers tool, and then third-party OpenAPI, and everything. So you're gonna see exactly how ADK integrate with tools. I hope this is a good reference for you. If you wanna build some cool project, you can reference some example here. Now I'm trying to enter the Google API key here to configure. Okay, this is a help function to run our agent. Just to quick recap, we have the runner to orchestrate everything to power up our agent. And we have our session, which is the memory, the conversation thread for like how we communicate with agent. And here is our event loop, is behind the scene, how runner orchestrates things. Just wanna quick recap. This is what we talked about last time. I think if you also curious, you can check the AI Camp episode 1 video. We explain that in detail. So now this is our very first built-in tool. It's very simple. You can see just those simple line of code. You just put the model, instruction, and the Google search tool, and that's it. You just ask a question about what is the latest news or whatever, or any other question you want, and you just run this agent. So you're gonna, so that's how you build your very first agent with building tool. As simple as that. So I'm gonna check the chat to see if people have any questions. Oh, okay. Why agents train I am not able to solve complex math problem? Maybe you can do chain of thought, or maybe I think it really depends. Oh, Lisa says way too fast. Sorry for being too fast, and then just let us know what's the part you want me to explain again. I can wait for you. The link to the lab. Okay, the link to the lab is this one. It's Google/ADK21. Okay, so your Dayan says creating a project. All right, so if you go to Google Console over here, like if you're clicking this Google Cloud title over here, and then there's a project picker. So you're clicking this, and over here, you're creating a new project. And in the new project you're creating, you link the building, like on the left-hand side, that you link the building to the project. So I have all the instruction over here. So if you just simply follow the instruction over here, you're gonna see how do you creating the API key. I hope it is helpful. All right, so do you need the link to the $5? Yeah, so making sure you're choosing the first link, not the second link. Sorry about the second link, I haven't opened the account. And yeah, I'm gonna continue for the time purpose. And if you have any question, I'm sure Olivia gonna be gonna help you, and Azizia also. Those, yeah. All right, so let's continue for next part, custom tool. So custom tool, as we mentioned, that it is very flexible. We have the function name and the type of parameter. So the docstring is very important. It tells what tool to use, how to call it, and what to expect in return. It always returns a dictionary to give LLM a structured and easy to parse information. So the docstring is very important. It is not common. It is not only for us human to read. It's also for agent to understand about this tool. So this is really important. Just keep in mind, just making sure you know docstring is very important for agent to understand a custom tool. So let's build our custom tool. You can either go to ADK tool, or you just stay in the same collab. You just open, and you just go to the next section. Yeah, if you go to ADK tool, you will directly go to this part. But if you stay in the same collab, you're gonna continue to see the next one. All right. So for this one, we are trying to build a tool to get the live weather forecast. We're using this API, like api.weather.gov points to call the location of your place. So we're using this URL, like connecting to this. So we want to make the API call. So what we do is first we define the docstring so that agent know what this tool does. What does it take? It takes a location as an input, and it will return this dictionary output. So this helps agent understand what this tool does. Oh, okay. Anyone turn on the, okay, sure. And then inside this function, you can see we're just making this function call. We have this structure, so we're having this structured output. So earlier we mentioned that behind under the hood, agent like we're LM, like so in this case 2.5, the model decide, okay, I'm gonna use this tool. I'm gonna use this tool, and I'm gonna make this API call. So once I get the response from the API, that's a structured data, right? So this is structured data. And then AI gonna summarize or enterprise this, translate that structured data to the human language. So eventually we're gonna get a response that's natural language to like this. So this is a weather look like. So this is, yeah. So here, this is the quick example of how we're building the Python function, like by connecting to an API call. And you simply just creating a function over here, and you put it over here for the tooling. So that is the easiest, like it's a very flexible way to creating your own tool with ADK. I'm gonna go back to the lab and I'm gonna quickly check the chat to see anyone has problem. Generate new API key in new project. Where do I put it? Oh, so if you have the API key, you're making sure when you run the collab, here you're putting your API key over here so that you can run the collab. All right, I'll continue because there's so many other tools. I'm really excited to share with all of you. So next is a new one, like OpenAPI. This is a game changer for enterprise developer. Now you don't need to write a wrapper function like what we do before. If you have an OpenAPI spec, you can just directly give it to ADK. And then it's like you're giving your agent API's instruction manual. And now agent just know exactly how to use it. Again, let's go to the next one. You can either using Google/ADK23, or you can go to the next section, which is OpenAPI toolset. So here you can see that we just simply have this API spec in the YAML file, and then we wrap it with OpenAPI toolset. We're mentioning that, oh, this is a type of the spec, and this is the content, and we put this everything wrapped with OpenAPI toolset in this tooling, and then that's exactly how you're connecting to it. So you're asking, oh, you're the pet store assistant, using your tool to find information about your pet. So can you find the pet with ID 5? So it just simply because you put all the specs in the YAML file and put it to it, so it will actually connect into this API and then trying to fetch ID 5 and get a result. And then behind the scene, AI gonna put the structured data to human language, and you're gonna see, oh, here's the pet ID 5. Again, yeah, those are the information returned from the API. All right, so this is similarly, this is how we are doing with OpenAPI. Again, I'm gonna check the chat. Sorry, where do I put my long API to run the lab? Olivia, can you help answer the question? Thank you. Okay. Right. So let's go to the next one, MCP. Because a lot of folks here for MCP, MCP is such a hot topic. And I'm gonna definitely spend a little bit more time explaining the MCP way, like how ADK with MCP, right? So you can use existing MCP as a tool in your ADK. You can also expose the tool as MCP server so that other people can use it. MCP is like a USB port. And you may wonder, oh, what does MCP server mean? What does that mean, right? So people talk about MCP server. I don't know exactly what does it mean, how does that relate it to ADK. So I have this diagram I drew for you to better help you understanding. So we have something called MCP client. That is the agent side. We have MCP server. So MCP server is like a hub, connects to different tools, different tools and data source. And then MCP client, which includes the agent. It has model instruction tools, which we're already very familiar with. So when we try to initiate the agent here, if we connect to the MCP server, it will list all the available tools this MCP server has. And then when I try to when I'm doing the reasoning, I'm deciding which tool to use. It will call the tool, call the corresponding tool, and then it will connect to the external tooling or data source. So you may wonder, oh, I already have my customer tool, I have my OpenAPI tool, I have lane chain tool. Those are great. Why I need to have MCP server? It seems so complicated. If I can directly connecting the tool, why I have to build a server and connecting through the server? So that's usually, I had this question. I'm not sure if you are curious, but I was very curious when I first learned about this pattern. But later on, I know that, oh, if you want to reuse the tool across multiple agents or team, or maybe your tool is written in a different language. Like, oh, I think someone earlier mentioned that, oh, I want to write my tool in Node.js, right? So that is where MCP comes in. So instead of directly embedding the logic, you wrap your tool in the service, exports through MCP. So then any agent, no matter what framework, if it's not ADK, it's fine. No matter what framework, if you like a land graph or whatever, like no matter what framework you're using, you can just discover and call this tool through this MCP server. So that is the power, the magic of MCP server. And so how ADK embed with MCP server is we simply wrap it with something called MCP toolset over here. So that is like easy way of integrate with ADK. I also have the lab for MCP server. If you can either go to this link ADK tool 4, or you just continue to the next part. Okay, thanks Olivia for answering the question. Oh, I was checking the chat. All right, so for MCP part, in this example, I'm using this a public available server that is MDN content. So basically, I'm trying to, it is hosting all the documentation, MDN documentation. And I'm asking a question that, oh, you're the expert at MDN docs. Can you answer the question? So I'm answering I can like ask questions about HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So I'm asking the CSS question so the agent supposed to using this tool, reading the stock and answering the question. Okay, so it says apologize, but yeah, I think the agent is non-deterministic. So I'm sure that sometimes agent is able to find the result. Here it's also able to. Okay, maybe I'll run it again. Maybe I have a different answer. Okay, great. It has the arrow. All right, I'll try it again. I'm sure like so it's not very reliable. As you can see, this is one of the challenge with agent that it is non-deterministic. All right, so in this time, I have the result. Great. I have this simple example for you. You just directly using the server URL. Of course, you can build your own agent like server, but we don't have enough time to build and deploy and then connect today for the lab. I'm sure. So I will definitely post some tutorial about it later on. So if you follow my social, I can post more content around it. But today, just for time purpose, I'm just using the simple example for you to demonstrate how ADK communicate with MCP. All right, so many tools. I haven't finished. There's something called third-party tool. You know, like old days we're using LangChain, and those tools where you might already have tools built with LangChain, and you have tools from Crew AI, and ADK make it so easy to use other tools. You simply just wrap them with something called LangChain tool so that you can use LangChain's tool. Let's take a look. Again, if you go to this link, you can directly go to that section, like Google's /ADK tool 5. You can directly go to that section, or you can go back to the same notebook, and it is the next part of it. And you can see that in this example, I'm using Wikipedia tool. So under LangChain. So Wikipedia tool, of course, I'm trying to find these results through Wiki. And how I do it is I simply wrap everything through LangChain tool, and that is how you're using LangChain's tool in ADK. So you're asking a question, and then it will search through Wiki to answer you. Isn't it powerful? I'm gonna quickly check the lab. Oh, thanks, Oliver, for answering the question. Great. So happy to have you supporting. All right. And then the next is Google Cloud Tool. Of course, you know, we want to make your ADK easily connect with database like Spanner, Postgres, or API hosted, or business tools like SAP, or application integration. Similarly, you just wrap things here with API. If you're using the API Hub tool, you wrap things with API. I'm sure that now you're already familiar with the, you know, like how ADK integrate with different tools. You just wrap it with different type. That's how you communicate with them. So now, let's talk about something interesting. Remember last time we talked about session memory, right? So again, if you want to have a quick recap, the first link here under session 4, I talk about agent memory. You can play around example here to do a quick recap. But now let's go back to this like tool context. Imagine like your tool is able to remember things. It's able to tell the agent to do something dramatic or transfer the conversation like a human. So in ADK, you have something called tool context. That is very powerful. It's like it's a tool. It's the way for tool to communicate with agent and other tools. So that is, today's context engineer is pretty powerful. And it's pretty hot topic. And now we have this tool context to help you communicate. And the way you use it is very easy. You just simply define tool context.state. So that is your shared memory. You can picture it as, oh, your tool is writing a note in a notebook. It's writing down something, and you pass this notebook to other tool or other agent, so that other agent can understand your context, and then you have some shared memory, so you can do something more cool with it. Now we talk about agent, like a tool context. We want to zoom out to understand how agents collaborate with each other. So agent also communicate through the shared state and memory. So agent also, they have a shared notebook, they write down the state and they pass to each other. So for tool to communicate to each other, they communicate through tool context.state. For agent to communicate through each other, they communicate through something called session.state. So in ADK, you organize your agent in this tree-like structure. And then you have this root agent. It's like your manager or CEO. And then it has an initial request. And then you're going to decide, okay, which report or which teammate should I delegate this one to? So it will delegate to a appropriate sub-agent and the specialist. And when this delegates, it will communicate through the shared session state. So that is how agents communicate with each other through it's a shared notebook thing. Again, if you're curious about memory, you remember to check out that tutorial. And today, in today's collab, at the very end, you're gonna play around two contexts and also how agent and tooling communicate with each other in this agent-ness tool. So instead of just simply wrap your tool in this toolbox, you keep adding a different type of tool in the toolbox or adding more tool in this toolbox, you can put the whole agent as a tool. Think of your manager asks for a specialist agent to take over the whole, like a task. You put the whole agent as a tool. And then you may wonder why just not like I want to put an agent as a tool, just instead of I have so many ways I can using LangChain, can using OpenAPI, can use MCP. I have so many ways of using tool. Why I need to use agent as a tool? Because you can, if you use agent as a tool, you can modularize, break large tasks into smaller tasks. You have specialized behavior. You also have multi-step planning through the agent prompt. So in today's collab, you can also see an example of how we building agent as a tool, and how in the agent as a tool, how we have the shared memory using tool context and also session state. And let's get started with this last collab. Oh, the last part of this collab. You're going to have another collab for evaluation. So this collab, if you go to ADK 2.6, you will go to the very end part, like this, like the part 4 of collab. And I'm going to quickly pause and check the group. Yeah, all right. So in this tool context, I mentioned this is how you communicate, the tool communicate, right? So in this example, I'm trying to set a preference. And so what I'm trying to do is I want to set a preference to different mode. Here, it's like the name of the preference and the value of the preference. So I want to, I want to set the preference to a dark mode, or maybe bright or light mode, or day mode, I don't know. So how you do it is, again, over here, you can see that they communicate through something called tool context, and then you're able to pass this tool context in this function argument over here. So that's how they can communicate. Over here, you have two tools, like get set user preference and get user preference. And this is, so if you so over here, set user preference, you set this preference to be this value. It's like, oh, I'm writing this note here, and now because you're able to pass this share note to other tool. So this get user preference, get your share note, and then say, oh, I'm getting this share note, and then so I'm getting this value, and I'm gonna print it out. So this is a very quick, simple example of how you communicate between the tool, among the tools, with two context.state. So here it's like, oh, I have your preference to be dark mode. And now let's talk about agent tool. So this example, again, I'm also using this trip example because we've been doing a lot of trip planning last time, right? And in this example, you also want to have a trip data concierge. So you have two sub agent. It's also like a tool. So one tool is a DB agent. Another tool is concierge agent as a tool. So those are the DB agent, the whole DB agent. The whole agent is a specialist. The specialist is a tool for trip data concierge agent. And this whole concierge agent is also like as a tool for data one. So for the concierge agent, you can also have other tool. So for your agent as a tool, your agent work as a tool, but this agent tool can also have other tools. So you can have so much fun, like those are the design choice you can do when you actually building ADK for real application. You can decide, okay, if I want to put this tool to implement it, or if I want to make the whole agent as a specialist tool for me. And for the specialist tool, I can also add in another tool. Okay, maybe I can add in another agent as a tool for me. So those are just fun design decision you can have when you're building a multi-agent thing. But here, yeah, again, we are trying to have this DB agent. We have this food critic agent, concierge agent. We have so for concierge, I'm gonna go to the concierge first. So for concierge agent, we have this. We wrap the whole concierge agent in this agent tool. So this concierge agent can work as a tool that's used for trip data concierge, and also for this whole DB agent. It also work. We wrap it in the agent tool, so this whole can work as a tool for trip data agent. And now let's zoom in the concierge agent. So this concierge agent also has another agent tool that is food critic agent. So this is like a tree structure. We have those two agents as a tool for trip data agent. We also have a food critic agent as a tool for concierge agent. So those are, again, it is a design option for you to decide how do you, if you want to solve the problem, if you want to have a specialist for each task, this is one way you can do it. So you orchestrate everything in like a big root agent. This now in this case is a trip data agent. So you just simply wrap those specialist agent as a tool. So now you have this one big agent that has two specialists to answer your question over here. Again, in this example, I also use tool contexts to communicate through the data. So I think in the so in DB agent, I'm setting this tool context. Basically, I'm having the share node for the received data, and then to write this data, and then this calling a concierge agent is going to get this received data from the DB agent. So that's how they communicate through the shared memory. That's also a powerful thing that ADK offer. All right, so a lot about tooling. I feel like I'm talking so many tools today. Yeah, I hope you're not get tired of it. I hope you still enjoy. I know like maybe some of you still digesting the agent as a tool or tool context, but for the time purpose, I'm gonna go to the next part. Again, if you have any question, I'm sure our Azizia and Olivia are gonna help you in the chat. And I'm also I can also share my social, so you can ask me questions later on. And I also post some links and tutorial afterwards. Yeah. So now we build the agent. Like we supercharge the agent with all different type of tool. We even put the agent as a tool, and we even supercharge it with the session state, share session state, or context, or tool context to communicate with each other. And now we're building this cool agent. Yeah, I haven't deep dive in the multi-agent because we're gonna deep dive in multi-agent next one. So if you're curious about multi-agent, make sure you come in 2 weeks. We're gonna talk about multi-agent. Yeah, okay. So we have this amazing agent, and we wanna like if you wanna just directly deploy it to production, it probably not working, right? Because you don't wanna just deploy things without testing. And the testing agent is something like we call evaluate. We want to evaluate agent. And how do we evaluate agent? So there are some aspects that we can evaluate agent. We can evaluate the quality of response and evaluate the reasoning, planning, whether they're doing the right reasoning, and also whether they're using the right tool, whether the tool is being called in the right way. Also, the ability for self-reflection, is that okay? And also for the memory, operation matrix, and the responsible AI and safety. So there are many aspects that we can evaluate the agent. It's not only about, okay, I'm checking, if I assert a test, if A equal to B, it's about evaluating the entire process. So now, oh, okay. I feel I heard something, but I'm gonna go back. Yeah, so nowadays, to evaluate agent today, like there's some areas still under research, like reasoning or self-reflection, memory, responsible AI, those are still under research. But ADK doing really great job for help evaluate response, tool use and function calling, and operation matrix. And here is how ADK evaluates agent. We're gonna evaluate through unit test and also integration test. I think someone has a mic open. Can you please making sure you mute your mic? Thank you so much. All right, so you may be familiar with the concept of unit test and integration test, but how does it work in agent, right? That's interesting, right? So in today's lab, you're gonna also see how the unit test and integration test work in ADK, right? That will be cool. And ADK has two building matrix. We have two trajectory to check if the right tool is called at the right time, and we have response matching score. It's checking whether how final answer matching what you expect, because you don't expect AI to return exactly the same one, right? Okay. Yeah, sure. And yeah, so this is how evaluation works in ADK. We have three methods. We have web-based UI, we have programmatic way, we have CLI way. So if you want to try the web-based UI, so that is the most visual, like it's friendly. It's very transparently. Like, again, if you're checking this crash course at the very end, you're gonna having this web UI open, and there's an evaluation section in the web UI that you can directly visualize all the testing. But because it takes a while to run this web UI, I have a collab for you today to run the test in a programmatic way. And here is a collab I have for you for evaluation. So now if you go to Google/eval, and then you will go to this evaluation collab. So if you open it over here, you're gonna see this collab. I'm gonna making sure I'm gonna restart the session. And first I will install the memory. Again, making sure you have your API key ready. I'm gonna copy this API key from the AI Studio. I'm gonna delete that key after, so don't worry if you see the key. All right. I'm gonna check in the chat to see if anyone has any questions. Yeah, ADK can also supporting other model. But in this case, I'm using Gemini. You can try different model. I think that's a question from Neil. All right. So yeah, so because we're almost run off the time, I'm gonna go quickly about the testing over here. So I'm gonna quickly go over it, and you can read through it afterwards. So basically, we have those two tools: get product detail and get product price. We define those tools, and for the unit test is we can run unit tests to check our tool. So here we are directly testing the tool, whether the tool is doing properly. And also we can, here is an evaluation set. It's a file I'm writing to testing it's an integration test I'm writing. So here I'm testing but how the result matching what I expect. You can also write evaluation tests for tool trajectory, but I'm not covering in today's collab. For the Python way of running the integration test, I also have this helper function to run it. I want to highlight something over here. So this is the core, the path. So I have this path equal to this. So there is how you define the logic of how you want to have the session result, expected result corresponding to your actual result. But in the actual web UI, you can have a UI and to directly, you're able to see all the, you're able to define the score in the web UI. And also you can compare the result very easily visually. So I will definitely recommend you to try it with the web UI. But here are some code for you to also try it with the programmatic way. I guess we are like almost run out of the time. So I'm not gonna deep dive into today's evaluation lab. You can make this as your homework. You can, I think the homework for you is you can read through this Colab and give it a try and try to run it with ADK web. So you can just turn on the ADK web with this through this example, instruction, and you can try this with ADK web UI, and you can define the score in the matrix score in the ADK web UI, and you can directly compare the result. I think that could be a homework for you if you're interested to deep dive into it. So I'm gonna quickly wrap up because we're almost run out of the time. Thanks everyone for staying this late. Just quick wrap up. Today we covered the agent, like its power with runner, and we talk about all different ways of how ADK communicates through the tool and the tool context and stuff. And just quick recap, our agentic stack, we have ADK, MCP, what has AI, A2A. And today we have our second step. I hope you have fun with all the tool integration and evaluation. And next part is gonna be even more interesting. We're gonna talk about multi-agent system. You're gonna deep dive and having so much fun with how agents communicate with each other. And have some material I'm gonna share with you. So this is ADK doc. You can understand more about today's concepts through ADK doc. And this is the ADK example. There has a lot of evaluation there. You can check it out example over here and try run it with ADK web, and you're able to see how they evaluate differently. And they also have many different examples with multi-agent. So you're gonna having a lot of fun seeing the multi-agent. And we have Evan, who's gonna join us next time. He's also helped contributing for today's slide. And if you have any question, you can ask him on social. We also have our like amazing helpful TA like Olivia today. Thank you so much for answering the question. If you want to connect with Olivia, you can connect him through this QR code. Yeah, Olivia, you can also drop the link there. And yeah, this is my social. If you have my LinkedIn and X, if you have any question with today's lab or you want to learn more about different topic, I'm gonna connect me on social. So our team also gonna have AI workshop in person. I'm gonna posting more AI workshop information on my social. I'm also gonna post more AI tutorial on my social. So yeah, if you're curious, you can follow my social and I'm gonna share more information. And thank you everyone today. Sorry for slightly overtime. Thank you so much for everyone being here today. I hope you have so much fun learning. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I really hope to see you next time.
Great. Well, thanks, Annie, for the great Code Labs demos, and it's fine. Actually, we are right on times, and just if anybody have we can have a few more minutes if you are available, and for some of the last questions, anybody have any last minute questions?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, why can't we use like as a sub-agents instead of wrapping the agent as a tool?
That's a design choice. So you can use sub-agent, you can use it as a parallel agent or sequential agent, loop agent, which we're gonna deep dive next time, or you can use it as a sub-agent, or you can wrap it as a tool. So so if you wrap it as a tool, that's gonna be more like a specialist agent. So that's really a design choice for you. You can do either way. It's just whatever best work for your application.
So
We just provided all the way that ADK in supporting you, and it's your call on how you want to use them to better write your application.
okay. So
Yeah.
is it covered in the docs? I would like to see what the pros and cons actually are. So
Oh, yeah. So you want to see the doc?
yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to this link, over here we have the doc, and you can see all the agent tools like we talk about today in the doc.
Got it.
Yeah, let me know if you have any question with the doc. I can also update the doc just feel free to give us any feedback. We want to improve the ADK doc to make it easy to follow for everyone.
Sure. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. Thank you so much for staying this longer. Yeah, I know some of you it's late for you, and some of you it's lunchtime. Thank you for staying. I really appreciate it. Everyone so keen to learn AI agent.